Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So last episode we had the free agency and we also started up the season simulation briefly. We did 9 games only, and so far we are 3-5-1. We're going to be simulating up to the trade deadline around in this episode, maybe a little bit earlier, depending on what, just so we could try and see what trades would make sense for this team to make, because obviously we do not want to be that great of a team this season. So anyways, before we get into simulating a little bit more, we do have 2 comments to go over. So the first one is from Pens Gaming 7. He says, there's a lot of 80 overall players in the offensive core, which might help the team. If you really want to tank, I agree with firing the head coach and promoting one of your weaker coaches. Otherwise, I would just sim and see what happens. If they're in a playoff spot, maybe go for it. So, yeah, let's maybe get rid of that coach right now. Yeah, so we could fire our head coach, and we'll probably make Hannon our head coach, just because he's a C-. Just because we want this team not to do too well out of the gate, but right now they're kind of simulating good. But we might actually wait a little bit just to see if this team falls off a bit. Like, we'll maybe simulate a couple more weeks, and if this team is still doing really well, then or decently, then we'll fire Beckett and make, like, probably, I'd say, Hannon or even Hans all the way down there as our head coach, so we could fully tank. And then the last and final comment, because I am recording this, I guess, a little bit early. Maybe it just wasn't enough comments in this episode, but the next one is from Rahul B. He says, you mentioned in the video that you weren't too sure on how to fix being closer to the cap floor. I would say the easiest solution would be to trade away 4 to 5 players with the worst potential, or AHL players like Sam Lafferty, or a low top 9 potential player on your team for a draft pick. Not only would this clear up contract spots, because I believe you were at 49 to 50 during the free agency period, but allows for you to overpay players to hit the cap floor, like how you offered Lucic and Hinestro's contracts. Hope this helps. Keep up the great vids, bro. Thank you for that, Rahul. And yeah, I agree. We definitely need to just send away a lot of those players that aren't going to reach potentials and all that stuff. Guys like Sam Lafferty, who I believe is in the AHL at the moment, or is he in the NHL club? Let me take a look at this. Yeah, Lafferty's in the AHL, so at least he's a UFA at the end of the year, so we could definitely easily let go of him. But yeah, it would make sense to trade somebody like him away, I'd say, at the moment, because yeah, he's a lot of an extra contract type of player. Like, we have a lot of guys that are like 70 plus, like Sakura as well should be gone. Cini, I guess I should have probably not resigned all of these type of guys, so I should try and trade away some of them, just to free up some roster spots. So we should probably do that before the trade deadline. So let's try and get rid of somebody like Sam Lafferty right now. You know, he's probably helping now with the younger guys down there in the minors. I don't even know what his overall is, so, or his potential. Oh, he's actually injured at the moment, so I can't probably trade him. Right? Can I not trade an injured player? Or maybe I can't trade an injured player. Let's trade him to like Buffalo. And can I take back like a draft pick for him, please? Probably not, but we'll try. For a 7th round pick, would you take Sam Lafferty? Nope. That's a load of bullshit. Okay, never mind. We probably won't be able to do that just yet. But yeah, anyways, let's simulate a little bit and see how this team performs. And if we're still kind of hovering around 500 or even better than 500, then we'll make the decision on to get rid of our head coach and fully tank. So let's go to the middle of the month, just make it a little bit easier on us, and see if this team wins more games or gets more points than they should be. Okay, yep, we're winning more games again. Man, there's a couple losses probably. Nope, another win. Yeah, we're still simulating a little bit too good for my liking to fully tank. 6-7-2. And yeah, Tyler Johnson is still going off, so we probably will have to trade him this year, I'd assume. But let's get rid of this head coach, because this head coach is making us simulate too good. So goodbye, Beckett. You've been getting us wins, but we don't want to win at this stage. Sorry. It seems like a weird thing to do, but it is what it is. And we will promote you to our NHL head coach, Hannon. And yeah, let's see how bad this team performs now with the new head coach. The chemistry probably looks like shit too, but we'll see how bad Tyler Johnson is with the new head coach, because he was doing really good with that head coach, with the being over point per game. But will he continue that mojo all throughout the year? Hopefully he kind of does, because I wouldn't mind trading him away and getting something really good in return. But yeah, let's continue to simulate and see how this team does the rest of the season. As Boris Kachuk gets injured with a concussion, let's replace player. There's another win. There's a loss. There's another win. Why are we still winning games with a C- coach? should not be the case. Is Jake McCabe actually injured? Did he get injured in the last episode? He must have, right? Yeah, he did. That's right. That is right. So we will go here and take out Blackwell and throw in McCabe. Boom. I don't really care about how bad the chemistry is with this coach. Lafferty was... Oh yeah, Lafferty was injured. I might as well throw him in a spot instead of Cini. I don't know. Actually, we'll just leave it. It doesn't really matter too much. Yeah. As long as Holton's getting some good growth down there in the minors. And Jason Dickinson has been injured with post-concussion syndrome, but he will be back by February 29th, so he will be back this season, but that is a big loss in a sense, and a player that I would probably trade away, so we might trade him away once he comes back from injury. Hey, why are you showing AHL stuff? God damn it, game. Why you gotta still be buggy? We're still 9-11-3, even with this new coach, which is kind of weird, but we're second worst in our division, so... Oh well. Who is leading us in points still? Tyler Johnson's still almost point per game, so with the new coach, he's still performing quite well. Like, he's just under point per game now instead of over point per game, but yeah, we might have to trade Tyler Johnson this year and get ourselves something decent in return. Not necessarily prospect-wise, because we don't have a lot of contracts, but a decent pick. That'd be nice. Let's go up to January the 1st. Like I said, I'd like to get close to the trade deadline this year, but if this team is continuing to over-simulate, we might not do that. We might stop simulating a little bit earlier so we can actually make some trades and blow up things, kind of like what we did when we got rid of Kane and Taze. But yeah, this team is still doing a little bit better than I expected at this stage, especially with the fact that we got rid of our head coach. Kachuk is back, which is good, so I will throw him in for... Who was the scratch? I think it was Zach Aston Reese, right? Maybe not. I don't remember where Kachuk was playing at all. We'll just leave it. Maybe that's also why Johnson's doing good, is because of the fact he's playing with Kevin Fiala now. So maybe I made our team too good via those trades. Czar's now been injured till December 26th. Interesting. And he's back again. But yeah, this team is actually doing okay. And Pedersen's growing good, which is always good to see, because we definitely need that guy to just develop a lot this season. I haven't taken a look at his stats yet this episode, but hopefully he's doing pretty good at the face-off dot and all that type of thing. Ian Mitchell's been injured. Let's go replace player again. And why is this not showing this damn thing? I want to see those sim games. God damn. I hate the bugs that are still in this game. It's kind of ridiculous. So 13, 18, and 3 at January the 1st. And Sam Girard's leading us in points now. Okay, that's kind of weird. 27 points in 34 games. He's doing really well. I'm really glad I traded for him, but that's kind of crazy that he's almost point per game as a defenseman. Yeah, he's going to be probably our leading point player every single year at this stage until we get good prospects in. But our team's 13, 18, and 3. We are at how much points? 29 points, which is one of the worst in the league. So we're in a good spot. Let's continue to simulate up towards the trade deadline and hope that we lose more games. And then next episode, we could blow things up a bit. Byfield's been injured. That's not good because he's one of those players I'd like to develop a little bit better. But he's only for a few days, so that's okay. It seems like the AHL team's getting swamped with injuries as well. And Ian Mitchell has returned. Ian Mitchell is playing center. Goddamn. Okay, we don't have anyone else to put in that spot, so we gotta wait till Byfield's back to put Ian Mitchell in the defensive spot. Okay, so Galvis is back, but I will leave it for now because this AHL team is getting swamped too. And now Byfield's back finally. That's good. So we will take out Ian Mitchell. I don't know how Ian Mitchell does as a forward, but whatever. Okay, so Quinton Byfield back into that center spot on the second line. Ian Mitchell back to the top defensive pairing with Sam Girard, and that's good. Nice. Okay. Byfield looks like he's developing really well, so maybe that's also why we're winning a lot of games. We're still winning games, which I don't like. 17, 18, and 3 now. Might have to stop simulating soon, to be honest, if we keep winning this much games. There's a couple losses. Sam Girard's been injured. That's not good, considering he's our point getter, but it's okay. Should make us lose a bit of games as Vlasic has returned in the AHL, so we'll get him back in. Holtman is growing really quickly. He's up to a 75, it looks like, already. Let's see. Galvez comes out. Vlasic goes in. Galvez goes down where Del Mastro was, I think. And there you go on that front. That's good. Yeah, Holtman and Zari are probably having a good season down there in Rockford, which is exactly what we need. And this game is still bugging out like crazy every time I go to the AHL. Goddamn. Oh, I don't like this game sometimes. Goddamn. Like, this is just fresh off of a patch, too. Which doesn't make sense because it's still... There's Sam Girard back in. Game Instance Islanders. There's too much wins in a row here. There's a couple losses, though. Yeah, we're still winning a little bit more than I like, so we're definitely going to have to blow up some of this team a little bit. But we are 20-25-4 at February 1st. I think that's where we're going to stop simulating just so we don't simulate too much. And Tyler Johnson leading us in points with 41 points through 49 games. He's probably trade bait this season. But we'd obviously have to take in some salary in order to make a trade probably. But let's take a look at our team stats and player stats so far for the season. We'll take a look at the trading block as well and see what is out there. And yeah, hopefully this team misses the playoffs again this year, which should be the case. So currently, actually, let's just go by our division because it doesn't matter about the entire league stats just yet at this stage. So currently we are at 44 points. We are 8 points back of the Minnesota Wild. But the last playoff team has 57 points. So we're in a good spot right now in terms of missing the playoffs. And yeah, we're only 1 point above the Dallas Stars, and the Arizona Coyotes are tied with us. So we're in a good spot in terms of that. Obviously, we do have games in hand now, which is a little bit Goals for per game wise, we are scoring 3.02, which is the third best in our division. So we're a good offensive team this year. And goals against wise, we're the worst defensive team. So that's why we're not doing too well. Our power play is still very bad, though, for our offensive core. 8% only. Yikes. And then our penalty kill is still terrible as well. So special teams are doing bad and defensive play is doing bad. But our offense at 5-on-5 is doing pretty good. We got 4 short-handed goals, 11-13-0 on home ice, 9-12-4 on the road so far, 3-6-1 in our last 10 games. Interesting. Let's take a look at these player stats, see who's been doing what so far this season. So Tyler Johnson, 41 points in 49 games. What's his contract looking like? 1 year. Yeah, we're going to have to trade him away, I think. Just so we could at least recoup some asses from him instead of just letting him go to free agency. Quinton Byfield's been really good so far. 31 points in 47 games. We brought him in from the Los Angeles Kings, and he's doing pretty nice. Like, that's already a career high for him. So we'll probably have to sign him to maybe we'll sign him to like an 8-year deal because he's probably one of the centerpieces of this franchise mode. Philip Kurashev, 30 points in 49 games, and he's only making 2.825 for the next 8 years. That is a steal of a contract for Kurashev. Hopefully he continues to produce like that. Ville Pettersson in his rookie season, 21 points through 49 games so far, 5 goals, 16 assists. Not too bad. How's the face-off numbers looking? Because that's also something. 51.9, pretty good. Pretty good for the youngster. Since he is a two-way forward, I was hoping he'd be able to win some face-offs. Reichel only 11 points through 49 games, but he is up to an 81. So that's good to see. Dickinson, 8 points in 20 games before his injury, which he's still out for another 28 days, I think. Blackwell, 3 assists in 32 games. Yikes. Fiala's been good, 37 points in 49 games. Athanasiou, 29 points. Olesen, 17 points so far. Czar, 17 points. Tanev, 14 points. And Boris Kachuk, 4 goals in 17 games. Right wing wise, Radish has 32 points in 49 games. 16 of them are goals. He's still scoring goals like he did last season, so pretty decently there. Not on the same tear as last year, but he's still on pace for maybe a 30-goal season. And then defensively, Sam Girard's been great. 35 points in 47 games. Alec Regula, 21 points in 49 games, which is kind of surprising. Ian Mitchell, 18 points. Same with Jake McCabe. Beaudin, 11 points. And Caleb Jones has 10 points. Goalie-wise, Peter Mrazek has been not terrible. He's got 18 of our wins this season, a .903 save percentage and a 3.3 goals against average. While Soderblom has not really been that type of an NHL backup, he's been pretty terrible for the most part. So there is the player stats. And yeah, let's take a look at this trading block and see if there's anything out there. Like I said, I would say Tyler Johnson's definitely a piece, but we should look to trade away. I'm not sure about anybody else. If you guys see there was anybody else on a roster, but we could trade away, like Radish maybe even, let me know, because we could potentially trade away some other players too. But let's see what's on the block. There is players to make our team good, but obviously we don't really necessarily want to be that great. Also, shout out to Ryan Graves and his long hair. What else we got here? Allmark's on the block. Wait, who was that for Boston? Some prospect-wise? Oh, it was just Carigny. Okay. Cam Talbot, Olofsson. Yeah, there's a lot of good roster players, but I don't think it's worth it for us to go into a chance to try and win the Stanley Cup mode because of the fact we aren't doing necessarily the best on in the league anymore. So there's Callum Ritchie, right? Callum? Yeah, Callum Ritchie for top 6 forward prospects. There's also still Dustin Wolf, who's a 75 at 22, but I don't know if he's developing much. There's a lot of good roster players out there, but not a ton of prospects, it looks like right now. But we could always trade just for picks instead of prospects because the fact that we're like right up against the contract situation. So, wait, who was that? That was medium elite. Simon Edvinsson has been put on the block by Detroit. That is a big one. He's still playing in the AHL at this stage, but Simon Edvinsson would be a good player to build up our back end with medium elite potential. But I don't know what we could give up to get him. Like, we already have Korchinski in the system and a few other defensive prospects. But Edvinsson would be pretty good, I would say. I don't know how he simulates in this game, so maybe not. There's also Petrov, but he's not really much of anything, it looks like. And same with Tulio. But Borowski's on the block, that's funny. Yeah, nothing really there in Florida. Seth Jones was immediately thrown on the block by the Los Angeles Kings. Same with Connor Murphy. So they just knew that we fleeced him in that trade. That is hilarious. Wow. So they're on the block as well as a lot of other players. So there's that. Minnesota's got some roster players. Ryan O'Rourke, below top 4 only. More roster players. Raphael Lavoie, but he's not really panning out. 76 at 23. Zach Lahuru wouldn't be bad either. I don't know how he grows though in franchise mode. Doesn't look like he's going to grow that well. Joakim Kamel is there. Still has medium elite potential. Goddard, medium top 6 at 18. He might be EA generated. I think he is, right? Yeah, he's EA generated. Huh. Interesting. So there is some prospects on the block, but there's not really a whole lot so far that I'm seeing. But like I said, we could always just trade for picks instead. Like, get rid of Tyler Johnson, get in like a second or a first rounder, depending on how this draft class is, which I have not even really checked yet, have I? So I'll take a look at the draft class as well after this, just to see if it's worth trading for picks and stuff. Owen Pickering's got top 4 potential, but I don't know how he develops. Gautier's got low backup potential. I thought he was going to be better than that. Huh. Yeah, most of the players on the block right now are roster players, which obviously, if we're trying not to win, is not really important. There's Zach Bolduc, Riley Height. So a couple top 6 forward prospects, which is nice to see if we want to bring in some prospects. But we already brought in so much prospects over the last few trades. Lekker Miyake. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Jonathan. We'll just say Jonathan. Jonathan's on the block. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not finished. Also, Jet Wu's on the block, but he is already 23. There's also Carlson in Vegas, who might be a real player, might not be. Caden Korzak is there, but he's not really developing too much. Hendrix Lapierre is still there. Yeah, there's some really good prospects out there. Markstrom. This guy was a 13th overall pick. He's an offensive defenseman. 78, top 4 potential, 18. That guy's intriguing. I do like the looks of this guy, and he's also playing really good in his first year in the AHL. That honestly might be something we want to trade for. Yeah, it might be Markstrom that we trade for, if we want to trade for a prospect. Because he looks like he's going to be a pretty good offensive defenseman, at least at the AHL level. Don't know about the NHL level. Maybe once that passing and offensive awareness goes up, he'd be really good, but that should be something that could be attainable for somebody like Tyler Johnson, maybe. Like, if we actually wouldn't go to proposed trade, for example, with Washington, they wanted to get rid of Markstrom, right? So let's go to defenseman, Markstrom. Did they want Tyler Johnson, right? Do they? They don't want Tyler Johnson, but we should be able to get rid of Tyler Johnson. We'd be under the minimum salary cap, so we'd have to take back a little bit of the contract as well. But we might be able to make something work like this. Yeah, we might be able to make something work like this. We'd have to probably take back a bad contract on a 1-year deal. So is there somebody on like a 1-year deal with a bad contract? Like somebody like Lars Eller, but his value's a bit too high. What else we got here? Just trying to figure out what kind of trades we can make next episode. Ryan Herman's value is a bit too high as well. I don't know who we'd throw in. Somebody like Michael Kempney, probably. We'd have more than 45 skaters in our organization, of course. So we'd have to give them somebody in the minors as well. So we'd probably have to give them, like, say, Philip Bruce. No, I'd be under the minimum pit. God damn it. Oh, this is going to be tough with the salary cap situation. Like, we'd probably have to give them somebody like Galvis. No, but still. We could retain on Tyler Johnson for the year, I guess, too. And make it work. If we really wanted to. So, yeah, we could probably do that. Like, trade away Tyler Johnson, but retain half his salary. And then get somebody in, like, Markstrom. And it should work. So, there is that. Let's take a quick look at that draft class, because I didn't take a look at it yet. So, the best pick in the draft is a defenseman, which is something we could definitely use. Thomas Christensen, I don't know if he's real. There's probably not. I don't think he is. More than likely he's not. But there's also Reefers, who is German. Looks like a couple good defenders in this draft. Not knowing too much about this draft class just yet, though, because they're still early on. But let's see any low leads that we could pin already at this stage, because it'd be nice if there was. It doesn't look like it just yet. This guy might be, probably not though. So that is that, and I think that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So next episode, we will make some trades at the trade deadline and all that type of thing. More than likely get rid of Tyler Johnson at least, as this team looks to try and turn down in the standings, and also build up our prospect pool and our draft pick pool and stuff like that. So let me guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.